Hey everybody, welcome to the dang podcast. This is episode 58. I think this is 58. I hope things are a little less boomy in here. I got a rug down behind me now, and I got this creaky chair. Still trying to figure out the lighting. The windows in this room are like sort of up, and with where the sun is right now, it's sort of just like, all things that, if I'm being honest, I don't want to work on or think about or care about. But I wanted to check in with everybody, see how everybody's doing, let you know how my week's been going and where I've been if you follow me on Facebook at all. I got deleted from Facebook altogether Thursday night of last week. I had a show in Mosinee, and during the break, Oliver, my son, told me that at school they have to wear masks all day at school, and if the kids see one of the other kids wearing their mask just down here on their chin, they call it a chin diaper. And it's just funny. I think they were saying it in good humor and that kind of thing. And I thought that was funny. So I posted it on Facebook and then finished my show and traveled home and slept. And I woke up the next day and couldn't log into Facebook. And when I tried, it said, your account has been disabled for violating community standards. I went through every conceivable step to get that reviewed, reversed, or explained, and there was no explanation, and they said it could not be reversed or reviewed, but they never told me what I did. So, in telling this story, some people smarter than me, and some people probably equally smart as me, all arrived at the conclusion that probably a person of a certain political persuasion, like an anti-mask, anti-vax person, probably reported my chin diaper thing as harassment and or bullying. And since Facebook can get sued for allowing harassment and bullying, but can't get sued for just randomly deleting accounts, the working theory with everyone I've spoken to is that a computer saw this report of harassment and just deleted my account. Now, certainly people will endure worse tragedies. I myself have and probably will in the future. And personally, as a human being, as a husband and a father and a friend and a son, I've enjoyed the weekend of being off of Facebook in a forced way. So like, even if I wanted to, go log into this thing and do whatever, I couldn't do it. And I had a few thoughts that I thought, I'll post that. And then I couldn't. And it felt kind of good to let my life shrink back down. And I was still on stage a couple times, and luckily, thankfully, people came, even though I was not able to say like, hey, here's where we're going to be today. Here's where we're going to be tomorrow. However, as a professional music man / maker of things / writer / whatever, it sucks. I have already lost money because of it. I can't use Facebook Messenger. So I had some shows that were like in the works and just getting finalized, and those just went away because I couldn't get a hold of people and respond to people. So I've lost like measurable money and opportunity, and that's frustrating. And as a human who likes to think of himself as like a thinking human. I'm frustrated by what has happened here. I'm frustrated by the person that chose to set me down this path. I'm frustrated by the system that built the path. And as I think just a man, like if you want to debate me, let's go. I mean, heck, if you want to challenge me to step outside, I'd prefer that over this is how I make my living. This is how I take care of my son and help my wife pay the bills and that kind of thing. And to have that be made more difficult because someone doesn't like my philosophy or what I think politically or my opinion on things when they could just move on. You know, the interesting thing about me is I think on Facebook I had maybe close to like 3,000 friends because I used it professionally quite a bit. But the interesting thing is I've probably in my life sent out 20 friend requests. The other 2,980 people came to me. And to know that someone came to me, saw probably immediately that they didn't like what they were seeing, chose to stick around, and then chose to make my life more difficult is very frustrating. It feels cowardly, you know, in a way that I feel very worked up about. The good news is I have this. I can talk to you all on the YouTube, and I have a website, ChristopherGold.com. I have an email, Christopher@ChristopherGold.com. I have an artist Facebook page that I have figured out a way to still access. And I have Instagram at Christopher Gold Music. So find me there and we'll see if we can fix this thing, but it seems unlikely. It's very frustrating to be moving into every year as it gets cold out, things slow down performance-wise. Add to that a pandemic and social media becomes very important. And, you know, it's sort of I'm trying to think of like what a comparable situation would be. But like, imagine you worked 40 hours a week and then for reasons out of your control, you got cut back to 5 hours a week. That's sort of what's happened. And it's frustrating. It's very, very, very frustrating. Friday was a bad day for me. I was very upset. I don't like feeling powerless. I don't like when people are able to anonymously make really big moves and not have to be made to account for those moves, you know? So it was very frustrating. But the weekend was lovely. I played some shows and I watched some football. Football's back. I love football. I'm a Packer fan, but I love football. I watched all or part of 4 different games yesterday. And it was nice. It was really nice to just sit with my wife and watch some football and drink some coffee and read. You know, I've been reading more now because I have the time. And I've just been doing nothing more, which I've talked about in the past as being an undervalued asset. To just be able to sit in a car while you wait for someone and not look at anything and not read anything and not scroll or think about what to say. Just sit there and let your mind reset or wander or do whatever it does. But it is frustrating. And on the off chance that the person who did this is watching this, I'm easy to find, and I encourage you to do it, and we'll have a chat. I think if you were the kind of person that would do that, we would have done it already. But you suck. You're my least favorite kind of person. And yeah, go report this video now. Take it down. I'm sure they're not watching, and I would not want to engage that person anyways. There's no... I'm trying to look at this as an opportunity to practice acceptance of like, that happened. And it seems like you can't make it unhappen. So use it as an opportunity to be stoic and just accept like, yep, that sucked. Let's move on. Fortunately, I feel very well equipped for that. I feel like my whole life and career has been about, oh, that's going to be harder than I wish it was going to be. But you want to do this thing, so you have to just go do the hard thing and do it the hard way. And it'll get harder while you're doing it. And you'll just do it anyways. Yeah. So it's been a weird weekend for me. It's Monday for me. And then I'm on the road most of this week. I'll be out of town Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just heading up north to play some music for people. And I'm very excited about that. And have some house shows booked. Would love to have more house shows booked. So email me. And things are good. People have bigger problems than me. And I'm trying to stay aware of that. And trying to find the good. It is frustrating though. Sort of undeniably frustrating. And now I feel like it's making this episode of the podcast kind of suck. So let's do some recommendations. That'll be fun. I picked out some intentionally fun stuff that hopefully you will like. So when we moved into the new house, the internet didn't work and it was down for some time. And like most of you, the internet is how we watch TV and things like that. So we had to fall back on our DVD collection, which has some movies in it and a lot of music in it, as you probably guessed. And one of those live concert DVDs was Stray Cats in 1985, I think. And it's wonderful. It's so good. And it's live at something French sounding. I'm not going to try. So go find that. But also, in the meanwhile, this record is called Built for Speed. And this record is called Stray Cats. Or this band is called Stray Cats. They're fantastic. You've probably heard of them, but you should listen to this record. A lot of people, they just know Brian Setzer's later stuff, or they know a couple songs from this band. I adore this band, and this band has been responsible for many musical choices I have made, and many gear choices, and even a fashion choice here and there. And this record and this band still sounds exciting. Like if this came out today, I would be telling you about it. Like, oh, you got to hear this band. And they sounded so fresh while sounding traditional and while doing something new all at the same time. And there was this energy that I love it. I love this band. I love this record. I hope you'll check it out. Next, we have, I'm still trying to figure out like where things go and the lighting and the sound and all that stuff. Next, we have Mr. Dwight Yoakam. This record is called Dwight Sings Buck, and it's Dwight Yoakam singing 15 Buck Owens songs, and it's awesome. I love Dwight Yoakam. I think he's powerfully underrated. I love Buck Owens, and I love this record. Check out the song I Don't Care Just As Long As You Love Me. It's beautiful. The sentiment is beautiful. Dwight's voice is beautiful. His jeans are beautiful. It's wonderful. And those are both records that make me feel good. And it's a skill set that I have developed in more recent years of having a library in my head of... I reached an age where I didn't want music to always help me feel the way I naturally felt. I think sometimes there's a tendency, especially when you're young, when you're sad, you listen to sad music, and when you're happy, you listen to happy music. And I have started trying to use music to sort of right the ship. So if I feel sad, I have a handful of things I can put on that are pretty good at picking me up a little bit. And those two are on the list. So check them out. What Stray Cats song should you listen to? What do you think? I mean, like, it's again, it sounds cliche, but Rock This Town, man, it's hard to mess with that. Sometimes the hits are hits for a reason. Rumble and Brighton's on here. Stray Cat Strut is on here, which was never my most favorite song by them, and maybe their most popular. But check out Runaway Boys or Rock This Town. Really, really good. And, if you have an orange Gretsch laying around, I'll take it. In the meantime, I don't know. It seems like sometimes the world is just getting worse and worse and just nasty in like a all at once inconsequential and major way. I think about like getting my Facebook page deleted is not going to help anyone's cause. It's just going to make me struggle for a little bit. And like, why? What is the point of that? And I feel like sometimes those little things are like, the fact that they're little is what makes them feel big. You know what I mean? Like if I find out that someone screwed me over and I go, why? And they go, oh, because I made $1 million by doing it. There is a part of me that goes, oh, well, that's a lot of money. But if I find out someone screwed me over and I go, why? And they go, I didn't like you very much. And I'm like, well, you could have just left, man. People leave. It's fine. People, unfriend people and just keep scrolling and it's fine. These little jabs sometimes feel big because they're little and don't have explanations and that kind of thing. But like I said, we'll get it figured out, whatever that means. I'm sure what it'll eventually mean is I have to create a whole new Facebook and kind of start from scratch and try to get that up and running before it gets too cold outside and I really need to depend on it to communicate with people. In the meantime, if you want to help, just share stuff, share the podcast, share a link to my website, share my Instagram, whatever. It is the hardest part of my job is just letting people know, and it's the least rewarding. Making a record can be a challenge sometimes, but at the end you get a record and all throughout the process you find cool guitar tones and neat things. But trying to let people know that the record is out is painful and difficult, and it gets much more difficult when stuff like this happens. And there's a longer conversation to be had about the power that Facebook has and that kind of thing that I don't support. But it's a longer conversation to be had by a smarter person than myself. Next week, this podcast is going to be better. It's going to be more fun. It's going to be more, about what this podcast is about. We'll talk about some music industry stuff and some philosophy stuff and some future stuff and some things I have learned this summer getting back to live music and how it's going to impact my future in live music. And we'll have a good time. If there's anything you'd like to talk about or a question you have or anything like that, get in the comments or email me, Christopher@ChristopherGold.com. If you'd like to book a show, same thing. Yeah, I got some stuff in the works and it's going to be good and exciting and fun. In the meantime, I know this is a short one. I just want to check in on you and let you know where I've been, Like I said, it wasn't a small number of people that kept up with me via that very specific avenue. And I didn't want anyone to think like, oh my God, where'd it go? What happened? Oh my God. I'm right here. So yeah, this has been a good opportunity to really kind of decide what it means to not let the bastards get you down. I think sometimes we just get used to saying things, and then something happens. And I'm not very good all the time at taking my own advice or living the way I say people should live, that kind of thing. So I guess I will just be thankful for this as an opportunity to sort of drill deeper down into like what it means to not, let every little gust of wind fill your sail, and what it means to not let things get you down, and what it means to focus on what you're grateful for, Everything that matters about my life is still there. Tori and Oliver and music and you all and that kind of thing. I have a song called Dogs that I really, really love. And in it, I say, there ain't nothing real that could ever be undone. So I'll just make a new damn Facebook page. And the first thing I post will be about chin diapers, and you can kiss my ass. People are the worst, aren't they? Except you and me. All right, we'll talk soon. In the meantime, be good and go easy, and it'll be fine. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.